Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to review of Holy Hell, the 8th studio record by the band Architects. Today we're celebrating the 5th anniversary of the record, so I decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. My story with this band is quite simple. I've stumbled upon the record Daybreaker back in June 2012. I loved it and I've been their fan ever since. While I consider Daybreaker my favorite record from them, Hollow Crown is their best one. The lineup on this record is Sam on the vocals, Josh on the guitar, Adam on rhythm guitar, Alex on the bass and Dan on the drums. It's a big change from the previous lineup, which had Tam, Dan's brother, on guitars. He was the mastermind behind this project, but he sadly died of cancer in 2016. Rest in peace, legend. Josh Middleton, the vocalist and guitarist of the band Silosis, replaced him and he played on this record and the next two ones. The production here was handled by Dan and Josh and it's tight, it's clean but heavy, no loudness, no clipping, just the way I like it. Message is diverse. The songs are mostly about Tam's passing, mortality, death, existence, depression, trying to cope after your loved one dies, but also pollution, humanity, environment, society in general. Structure of the tracks is basic, standard intro, verse pre-chorus, chorus, verse pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. Sometimes it's slightly different. I like how this band adds also past choruses in their structures. When it comes to the music here, it's metalcore, with some prog and electronic elements. The record starts with the track Death is Not Defeat, and the first thing you're going to notice here is the drumming by Dan. It's there for the entire record, not just this song. I love his double bass work, the groove, the style, the precision of his playing, the intensity. It's all here. Next is the bass. It's not that audible and it mostly follows the guitars. The guitar work is fabulous. I love most of the guitar riffs here. Some of them are very heavy, crunchy, straight to the point. We've also got some very beautiful melodies here. What's interesting about this record is the fact that most of the songs were allegedly written by Tam, who passed away 2 years before the recording. The band did not disclose which songs were mostly written by Tam, but we do know that Doomsday was one of them. But his touch and spirit can be felt throughout the entire record, at least that's how I feel about it. Then we've got the electronic and keyboard symphonic elements. I feel that they enrich the overall sound of the record. I truly enjoy that stuff. Finally we've got the vocals by Sam, and I love his screaming, growling and singing, especially the screaming. It's so passionate, so full of emotions, like you can feel despair and anger in that screaming. The black sounds are present on the record, which is just great. The only thing I can criticize here is some of the clean singing, but it's the minority. Most of the cleans are actually quite nice. Going back to the opening song, Death is Not Defeat, this is my favorite Architects track. Like, it sounds so epic, majestic, emotional and heavy at the same time. The vocal performance is through the roof, it's so good. The singing, the screaming, the growling. I feel like this is one of those songs that every band member has contributed to, including Tam. Like, you can feel his spirit here, but also the other members. Like, for example, the bridge sounds like Josh had written something for it, because it has a slight Silosis vibe to it. I love the chorus so much. I feel like the lyrics in the chorus might have been written by Tam. I might be wrong, maybe just Dan wrote everything, but it has that feeling like everyone contributed to this one, and that's why it's the best song. Like, every section here is beautiful. This is the only song on the record that makes me cry actually. When I first heard it, I was in tears, and today I've listened through this record again, and it happened again. Like, it will always happen. It's just so emotional, it's so fun and so sad at the same time. I highly recommend listening to this song. This track makes you feel happy to be alive, but also ready to face your hardships. That's at least how I feel about it. Every single section here is great. My favorite one is the chorus and the bridge, especially the guitar work in the bridge. 11 out of 10. Hereafter, now this is another amazing song. I love the vocals here, especially the screaming, growling, the singing. Some of it is nice, some of it is not. The atmosphere of this track is really good, it's very memorable. I did enjoy it, but it's not as good as the previous track. 8 out of 10. Mortal After All. Apparently this is the first song written by Josh for the band, and I would have never guessed because it doesn't have Silas's vibes at all. Like, he's such a great songwriter, love the guitar riffs here, especially the main guitar riff. It's crunchy, it's bouncy, love the chorus here. This is a great song as well, on the same level as the previous one. Atmosphere of the record is very consistent, like every track blends well into the next and so on. 8 out of 10. Holy Hell, another highlight of this record, is my third favorite track here. Love the vocals, the emotions in them, the guitar riffs, the breakdowns, the chorus, just everything. It's not perfect to me because it sounds very similar to the other songs. Like, I know that many people are going to say that's a good thing, but for me, I kinda get lost on this record because the tracks are just so similar to each other. But I did love this one. 9 out of 10. Damnation. Now this is probably the only song for me that is not that memorable, like, at all, cause it just sounds like a filler track. It's very similar to everything else on this record. It's not a bad song, I do enjoy the music, the vocals, but it has no parts that would make me go like, wow, that was amazing. It doesn't have amazing memorable chorus like Death Is Not Defeat. It doesn't have a breakdown that makes me go like, wow, I will never forget it. No, it's just a good song and that's it. 7 out of 10. Lawyer Beggars. I love the verses here and the clean singing. The chorus is great as well. This is another competent track. 8 out of 10. Modern Misery. Same as with the previous one. Love the guitar riffs here, the vocals. The verses, as usual, are my favorite parts. This is a great song. 8 out of 10. Dying to Heal is of the same quality as the previous two songs. I enjoyed the vocal performance, especially the screaming here, the verses. The bridge was great. The chorus was nice. Yeah, another great song. 8 out of 10. The Seventh Circle. Finally, we have a track that is slightly different from the previous ones. This one is short, it's like 2 minutes long, and it's much more heavier and full of anger compared to the previous ones. Like, the vocals go hard, we've got the blah sound, which is amazing. Finally. And I just love this one. I feel like maybe Tom and Josh wrote this one, like Tom started it and Josh finished it, because it slightly gave me Silas's vibes. A highlight for sure, and my third favorite song on this record. 10 out of 10. Doomsday. Now this one was released as a single a year before the record came out. It's the song that was started by Tom and finished by the band, and it's the second best track here. Like, the vocal performance is just so beautiful. The singing, the screaming, the anguish in the screaming, the growling. I love the chorus so much, the singing there, just the emotional impact this song has on you. I have nothing to complain about here. Everything in this song is perfect. It's a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. And the final track, A Wasted Hymn. I love the vocal performance here, the whispering at the beginning, the slight singing, the chorus, the verses, but just everything. It's not a perfect song, but I do dig it. It's a nice ending to the record. It's much more mellow and melodic compared to the previous songs. 8 out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable, the flow is fitting, replayability. Yeah, it's a great record. I enjoyed from beginning to the end. The only flaw I can see here is that the songs are very similar to each other, and the record is a little bit too long. Like, I would cut Damnation from the track list and that's it. I have listened through this record like 20 times, and it's still hard to remember which song was which, like in the middle, but the first ones and the last ones are the most interesting ones when it comes to their identities and vibes. Like, they do differ a lot. When it comes to the things I love about this record, it's the drumming, it's perfect, the guitar work. The vocals are just so beautiful, like 99% of them. Love the emotional impact some of the songs have on me, like they make me think about life. The lyrics are beautiful, you need to read them. I love how in every song you have references to the previous Architects tracks that Tom wrote. It's a nice touch and a fitting tribute to him. For me personally, this was the last great Architects record, and I love it. Celebrate honestly by spending it today, it deserves your love and attention. That's all from me, thank you for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow me on my Instagram, link in the description, I will see you in my other videos. Also consider becoming a member on my channel so I can make an album review and maybe a Doom MIDI cover. That's all, bye! When I leave this skin and bone, beyond my final heartbeat, I dismantle piece by piece, and I will know that death is not defeat.